Good morning. Welcome to Stitchery Podcast, a new podcast that I wanted to start to share some of my knitting and crocheting and sewing ideas and to meet new people. My name is Jonna. I am from the Mars, Pennsylvania area, north of Pittsburgh. And you can find me on Ravelry under Stitchery Podcast. So let's begin. Welcome to row 1. I want to first start with knitting. I have been knitting for about 1.5 years, and I will show you some whips that I have. The first whip that I have is a scarf. It's called Wheat, and it's by Tin Can Knits. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. And I have a hat that I made from them, Barley hat, which is right here. And I wanted to find or make a scarf that would go with it. And this is perfect to go with that. So here's the hat. And I ran out of this yarn here. I had not enough to make a full scarf, so I decided that I would add it to the ends here for this scarf. The yarn I'm using is Cascade 220. This is mustard. And then the yarn I'm using here is Barocco yarn. Let's see, I have this Barocco Vintage. And this is an acrylic, 52%, wool 40%, and nylon 8%. And the color is a number 5176. And it's a little bit more brown, rusty color. The lighting in here is blowing it out, so it's not looking good. But the two together, I think, is very pretty. And once you get the other end done, and you wrap these together, I think that will look very nice together. So that's the first whip that I have. The next whip is the Cozy Memories blanket. A lot of people are making these, and I am making mine. Oh, and back on the wheat, I'm using my eeeek US 8 5.0 millimeters, and for the Cozy Memories, I am using Collage 2 US 2.75 millimeters. It's the Coziest Memory pattern on Ravelry, but actually I am also using, I went onto YouTube and I looked under and I found Simply Mar Crafting. She was a wonderful help. She actually is what I watched first before I went and pulled up the other pattern off Ravelry, and I found her techniques very easy, and just kind of followed that as well. So this is how much I've gotten so far. I do not have any information on these yarns. I've just I know this is a Regia right here. This was given to me during a swap, birthday swap with Periscoping Sisters, and but I don't have the tag on that information. A lot of this is just things that I've been getting here and there, and as I go forward I will start keeping the ball bands and logging the yarns down. This is a stitch marker that was given to me by my sister. It is a butterfly, and it helps me to know the front side from the back. Now obviously you can see the back as well from where you're picking up the stitches, but this is also a quick reference too, so it's nice to have. So that I'm working on, and I enjoy this very much, working on that. And then the other whip I'm working on is a Linus shawl, which I am keeping in this bag, which we'll talk about later. And I've decided, a lot of people are doing the find your fade shawls, and I've decided that I would like to do a fading shawl, but not using that find your fade shawl pattern. So I'm using the Linus pattern, and this will be it. This is a free pattern also on Ravelry. Got a glare. And these are the yarns I am using. It is made, the yarns are made by Maine Made, it's Frolicking Feet. There's the tag. And there are 6 skeins, 6 100-yard skeins. It's domestic superwash merino. And here are the colors. So obviously I started with the one which I'll show you. I'll go to this and then that one, that, and then end with that. Now, I started actually with this one because I thought, do I want to have all white on one side and then this dark color on the other side? I kind of wish I wouldn't have done that. I don't like the contrasting of the white with the darker one here. I wish I would have allowed it to fade better. But you live and learn, and if I do this again, I will make sure I just start with the darker color. So here it is. I'm using eeeek, and I'm using US 4, so it's 3.5 millimeters, and it's just kind of started here. And you can see contrast. I'm not sure if I like that very much, but we'll see what it looks like when it's finished. And again, this is the Linus shawl. It is very pretty. And this is obviously the front. I have my stitch marker here with my August birthstone, which I don't think you can see very well. Yeah, I'm going to have to practice the lighting. But I like this pattern. It's very nice, easy, and I can't wait to get to the next color to see what it's going to look like. So that's going to be very interesting. And we will come back to that bag. So those are my works in progress. I have a finished object, which I am wearing. I call this my cherry chip shawl. It reminds me of the cherry chip cakes that I used to get as a kid. You would get these little pops of red in here, and it just reminds me of the cherry chips. I'll take it off so you can see it. This shawl is the Nurmilintu, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's a free shawl on Ravelry. I have the pattern right here. I didn't do the lace edging at the bottom.